Yo, AJ.
Showcase, 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 showcase. Come on, Brian. Showcase, showcase. Come on, in the chat.
Pop-Tarts, Pop-Tarts, Pop-Tarts. Brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Brown sugar cinnamon Pop-Tarts. Come on, we all know this is the best Pop-Tarts.
I know I always say things that disappoint you.
I mean, that's sort of your role around here.
I think Pop-Tarts are kind of gross.
Oh my God. Like, dude, we just started this show. Fucking keep it in your pants, dude.
Like, I think they're kind of gross. I'm sorry.
God, what? We had
especially people. I hate people that eat cold Pop-Tarts that like don't even toast them. I'm like, you're a monster.
I'm so done with you. I rate the quality of each flavor Pop-Tart by how good they are plain, straight out of the package, how good they are microwaved, and how good they are toasted. Like, they have to be all three of those things to be amazing, which is why brown sugar cinnamon are fucking amazing.
Why is this not like an alternative YouTube channel that you have where you just rate Pop-Tarts?
This is the alternative YouTube channel that I have. Have you never seen one of these shows before? We talk about PSVR for like 5 minutes, and then we bitch about pizza for the rest of the time.
See, Wes is here to back me up. Toaster strudels, so much better
you fancy
than Pop-Tarts.
Pants. You fancy pants. Toaster strudels. Yes. Toaster strudels are the ones that give you the frosting that you like drizzle over the top, right? In the package.
Yes.
Yeah, no, they need to give me 3 of those packages for me to switch the flip and buy those instead. I just need to like, dude, fuck the toaster strudels. I'm just going to eat the frosting out of the package.
Well, I'll allow it.
All right. Well, you know what? I was going to talk about how I woke up to cat shit in my bed today. But you know what? This turned out to be a way better topic to start the show. Dude, let's get this thing started. Let's do it.
Let's go, baby.
Great boxes. We were doing so good.
I was like, how long is it? I was like, did you extend the intro?
This is PSVR Gamescast Live. At least I know how to fix shit now. This is PSVR Gamescast Live. We film live every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. We do it live right here for your viewing pleasure on YouTube, 6 p.m. Eastern. If you don't like watching us with your eyes, you can always watch us with your ears. That might be right. On podcast services of your choice. Yeah, that includes Spotify. Yeah, that includes fill in the blank. I don't fucking know any of the other ones. My name's Brian Powell from this channel right here, PSVR Pro, and this gentleman over here to my right, it's AJ from the Underground, PSVR Underground.
Thanks for the shout out, homie. What is up, Brian? What is up, Gamecats? Happy Monday. And I know that Mondays usually suck. But guess what, Brian? This Monday really sucks. Just a little bit less. Happy Showcase Week, man.
Yeah, dude, happy Showcase Week. We've been waiting for this since 1970. We've been waiting for this for a really long time, man. So yeah, it's really, really exciting. You know, if you're out there and you're like, how come PlayStation VR2 doesn't have any good games? First of all, shut the fuck up, because you're wrong. We've had an amazing 3 months. We had an amazing launch lineup and amazing titles coming out pretty much nonstop since launch.
We had great games within the last 2 weeks.
I know, right? And in more to come in the next couple of weeks already scheduled. So like, fucking chill, dude. Chill. But on top of that,
my guess is that they don't even own a PSVR2. It's usually what it is.
Generally what it is. But on top of that, like, be patient, man. If you're going to complain about what Sony's doing, for the love of God, at least wait until you've seen what Sony's doing, right? Here we are, like, mere 2 days away. We're 46 hours away from showtime. If you're going to complain, just wait 46 more hours until you've seen, and then you can complain. Then you'll have every right to complain. Until then, I don't really want to hear it. I really don't. Oh, man. Dude, what have you been up to? We didn't do a show last week because I am insane, and things have been crazy. So we didn't get to catch up with you last Monday. What's been going on your channel over there at PSVR Underground? What have you been up to? Get me caught up, dude.
Well, things have been great, man. Really, really great. I got a new job, and it's been really great for my mental health because My last one was not so great for it. Dude, these great games. I've been playing these awesome games. And, Brian, I can now admit that I think I like puzzle games. Okay, I do like puzzle games. Just good puzzle games. But yeah, man,
wait, which one was the clincher? Which one finally made it happen for you?
Well, nothing in particular. I guess honestly, maybe Humanity and Red Matter, mostly. So like I said, there's been, dude, it's been awesome, man. I loved Red Matter. I beat it. I got the platinum, by the way, easy platinum to get. Really easy platinum. That's my first PSVR2 for PSVR2. I played some Humanity over the weekend, which I don't know how that game just like stays awesome, but it somehow does. Really nice, thought-provoking, pure puzzler game. I played some Walkabout. I've been playing Walkabout with Julia. And by the way, everybody, apologies for... So I have all my notifications off, right? Like I don't even see my trophies anymore. And that one kind of hurts. But apparently every time I've been playing Walkabout, people have been messaging me. And I haven't been ignoring you. My notifications are off. So I sent a bunch of messages out last night like, hey man, I'm sorry. I didn't realize, but dude, I've been loving Walkabout, been taking my time with it, playing that. And dude, I played Gran Turismo. I beat Gran Turismo, like the main campaign of it. I've just been really enjoying lots of awesome PSVR 2 games and excited about this showcase and everything is awesome right now.
Everything is awesome right now. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, man. The last couple of weeks, obviously, if anybody was around yesterday, and they were even remotely on time, they were able to come hang out in our Discord, get a key to the Honor and Duty D-Day beta, or the D-Day enhanced beta, and that was a lot of fun, dude. I mean, did you get to get in there for very long yesterday, AJ?
Yeah, I played for about 45 minutes, and it was insane. I mean, 64 player multiplayer in VR, and it certainly looked like war at times with just crowds of people just slowly pushing forward and shooting, and it was wild.
Yeah, it was. I was definitely happy to see that they were able to maintain like this steady frame rate with 64 players simultaneously. I couldn't believe that. So I jumped in at 157. Sorry, sirens on my end. And Reggie hadn't opened up the beta yet, the multiplayer beta. And so I was just like, well, I'll run around the training grounds. I'll get reacclimated to the controls for a second. And I was literally only there for a minute or two. And then I jumped back to the main menu, saw that they had opened the multiplayer mode, public beta. And I went in and immediately just heard so many voices and saw so many people running around. It was insane. Like I was running over, I spawned in and I was running over a hill with like 20 other people, like in a wave of like 20 people were coming at us. I was like, this is like, I'm kind of scared right now. And then I was dead and I was like, well, I'm over being scared. Like this is, and then it just got to be insane. And this is, I really do think that this is going to be D-Day's selling point. It's just like the pure chaos if you can get enough people alone in there.
Yeah, that alone is pretty cool. It was pretty fun. Obviously, it still seems kind of early. There's lots of bugs. There's lots of polish that it needs. But that concept alone, like, yeah, everything else didn't even matter. It was just really cool to experience that. Yeah, no, absolutely. And of course, that's the purpose for the beta, is to figure out these bugs and figure out, what's not working perfectly. And Chrome Colossus in the chat says, "Is it proximity chat?" And it's actually not currently. You actually spawn in to the level in a squad, and so there's like 5 people in your squad, and you can only hear them in your voice chat. So you're supposed to be working with them, and so that's why you're not hearing 32 people on your team simultaneously. But I did ask Reggie about proximity chat for your team only. And they're going to look into that and see if it's possible to do, if it's worthwhile. It makes sense,
because it feels weird to be in there with a team of so many people and only hearing the same 5 voices or 4 voices for minutes at a time. So yeah. And we got a couple games coming out this week. We've got Nock coming out this week. We've got
played Nock.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
Nice. And you played that on your Saturday stream, is that right?
I played it on my Saturday stream, and I played it a little bit Sunday morning, and woke up and played some Nock.
It's not a bad way to wake up if you have time to go right back to sleep after, I guess, because it's more physical than I expected it to be, man. Like I was like, yeah, I thought I'd just be pulling bows and shooting arrows and that would be the extent of it. But the way you get around, actually grabbing the environment and like throwing yourself in one direction or another, or whatever, like that gets tiring fast. You
kind of have like one hand that you like skate around with, and yeah, it's pretty cool, man. I don't know with like the price point on it yet, but there's some things that I'd like to see with it, but definitely when it's at its best, like it's pretty cool. It's nice to have. It's also just nice to have something different. I like kind of weird games, weird spin-off games like this. So I just appreciate it. Other than your standard puzzle game, over and over, just the same genre, just beaten to death, while other genres, especially sports games, are like severely lacking. Well, I wouldn't say severely, but they're kind of lacking. And so it's nice to get something a little bit different.
Yeah, I agree. This has been a lot of fun. I need to get in there and play a whole lot more of it. But I feel like it's a skill that I need to learn. Like, because right now I'm terrible at it. Jumped in, got my ass kicked by a couple of Quest players, and then me, Izzard, Miles, and Elvert jumped in, and we were like, "Oh man, we got 4. We've almost got a full room. So let's just jump in and see who else is out there that we can play against." And we ended up playing with some like, I mean, they seemed like they were 9 years old, and they were racist and homophobic and like just spurting out random slurs like for no reason whatsoever, like just because that's apparently what kids are now. Like I don't know kids, but apparently kids are just fucking terrible now. I didn't know how that had changed so much so recently. So
surprising.
Yeah, they're horrible. I'm glad I don't have any. But it's a lot of fun. I'll have a review up in the next couple of days. As Wes said in the chat, it's $10 on Quest, so that's what we're expecting it to be over here on PSVR2 as well. It's running at 90 FPS. It's running at the maximum resolution, so it does look really nice, even though the aesthetics are relatively simple, kind of a futuristic sports looking game. But it's getting the job done. Crossplay works great. In-game voice chat works great. So I think at that point it's all what you make of it. AJ, we haven't done this in a little while, but we obviously like to thank the people who support us financially on the show and keep this channel running. But man, Monday is a whole nother group of cats we like to thank, isn't there?
That's right, Brian. I almost forgot about this. We would like to thank those who support us in another way by changing your name to something Gamecat, something Gamecat related, or something Gamecat adjacent, as you and something Gamecat adjacent like to say. And this week we have 5 new Gamecats to welcome to the Gamecat Dojo.
Oh shit! Wait, hold on. That was the wrong cat pod. Let's try this again. Gamecat Dojo. it just wouldn't be right with the fucking cute little pod up there. Sorry.
Starting with serial killer is not yet a ninja in the Gamecat Dojo.
Bing.
Why is that serial killer? Why?
Yeah, why? Well, I don't. Maybe Markio's not doing his job.
No, Markio is definitely doing his job. That he is always in Zenith. By the way, nice little update to Zenith with the new Cyber Ninja class. Make a new character, go see the new areas, and go run into Markio and join the guild.
Nice.
We've also got Scott, the PS Space VR Space Game Space Cat for life.
Bing.
Of course.
I was just about to congratulate him on simplifying his name from Scott Jestico. Like, it was like a fucking massive name, but then you just kind of stumbled over it, so I don't know how simple it ended up being.
I made it more difficult than it is.
Welcome to
always be Scott Jestico, PSN Harry Fellow, PSVR Gamecat for life for me. But I like the new look, Scott. It's nice and clean, looking sharp.
Yeah.
We've also got Hippie Gamecat Pick the Pickled Pepper PlayStation. This is definitely a hippie pickle.
Bing. Yeah, unmistakable PFP. Unmistakable.
We've also got, I like this one. This might be my favorite one of all time.
What?
Quill, the game cat. That's right.
Bing. Quill, that seems...
All your quills now are belong to us.
Sure. You know what? We won't try to make sense of this. We won't have... Oh. See, AJ is actually showing off his Quill statue, but you can't tell because serial killer's name is in front of his picture.
Oh. I love Quill. Dude, Moss Book 1 and 2, man. So good. I love the remasters. Really, really good. Finally, last but certainly not least, we've got Dutch_DJ, the Game Sloth. We've got Game Sloths now, Brian.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. We've told people over and over, you don't have to be a cat to be a game cat. You can be whatever animal or whatever you choose that you identify with. We don't give a fuck, dude. We don't give a fuck. We're pretty open-minded over here, man. Cats, dogs, sloths, mice, shrimp,
grilled shrimp, shrimp scampi.
If you have no idea what we just did, Game Cats are the loyal following of Without Parole. So if you happen to change your name to Game Cat over on YouTube or Google to show your devotion. That's the word I'm looking for. Then then make sure you put hashtag GameCat in the comments below. Any of the videos on Without Parole, so that we can give you a shout out on next Monday's show. We got a few things we got to knock out here, man. We're gonna make sure we don't get too far away from some of these tips. Feel the magic, hear the roar. Thunder Game Cats are loose with the Australian $2 tip. It says, I predict Mark Cerny will blow Herman Hulst live. I didn't read this before reading it out loud. I
didn't even see that tip.
Yep, that was an early one. That is, I mean, that's not on my bingo card. I don't have high hopes for that to happen. But I think we will all owe you a pizza. Feel the magic if that happens.
Well, yeah, tell us how you really feel. Feel the magic.
Seriously. I mean, dude, I was just watching a Theo Von stand up because I was just trying to cheer myself up a little bit before we get to GamesCast. And I don't know much about Theo Von. He's not a comedian I'm real familiar with. I've like seen his podcast once or twice because he was interviewing people I was interested in. But I never actually saw his stand up, and he's fucking pretty goddamn funny, dude. And he was, I just watched a segment that he was talking about like how everyone's like 11% gay, and he goes, "That's not a lot to give up." Like, that's an interesting way to start a bit, and I'll just leave it at that. Big Turbo 2.0 on IG. So everybody go follow Big Turbo 2.0 on Instagram. I'm assuming that's what it is. With a $2 tip, he says, it's going to be all porn. We're going to go over there. It's going to be like Herman Hulst blowing Mark Cerny. It's going to be bad. Don't go follow this guy on Instagram. We have no idea what his pictures are like.
Of fan-made art.
Right. Yeah.
Mark Cerny's OnlyFans.
Big Turbo 2.0. No, stop. Just move on.
It's just computer chips.
What did I start?
and big charts of breakdowns.
What did I start? No. Please, let's move on. Big Turbo says, with the $2 tip, we need VR billiards for PSVR2. Black Hole Sun.
Yeah,
that's it. Black Hole Pool, I believe it's called, is actually slated to come to PlayStation VR 2. The cool thing is that you can just apparently just have like YouTube videos playing up on the screen in the background of Black Hole Pool. I don't know what the relevance of that is, but I mean, at least it's kind of cool. You can watch GamesCast, I guess, while you play pool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it would make it more entertaining for me. Looper, the Underground Game Cat with the €5 says, I have 2 PSVR 2 Platinums so far. Awesome Asteroids and Altair Breaker. God damn it, you got the Altair Breaker Platinum before I did. There's one where you have to kill 1,000 enemies, which doesn't seem like a whole lot in a game where you just run around killing motherfuckers. But like, yeah, apparently I'm like only 72% of the way there. Like I need to invest a few more hours.
I got close to predicting your score. I think I said, what, 5.8?
Yeah, you were 0.1 away.
That was 1.1.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. I think we get 2 more tips here, and then we'll get on to our first news story. Hippie Pickle. Nope. Hippie Game Cat picked the Oh, God damn it. You know what? When I saw this, when I put his name in the run of show as a GameCat name change, I was like, thank God AJ has to say this and not me. And then here I am reading the fucking tip and I can't read it. Hippie GameCat picked the pickled pepper PlayStation with the 2 quid, says AJ, don't fall for tongue twister. Oh, damn it. Peace and love all.
AJ didn't fall for the tongue twister.
AJ, no. See, I can't read, man. I can't read. He didn't fall for the tongue twister. I did, though, and I wasn't the target demographic. Snafu with the $2 tip says, lowly PSVR1 guy here in... Oh, lowly PSVR1 guy here. Is Neon Hat worth $3 on sale?
First of all, shout out to you for holding down our old fort. Also, like, secondly, things aren't that bad over there in PSVR1 land, right? Yeah. Like, there's still games coming. Like, Humanity just came out for it. Like, I thought Hello Neighbor was supposed to come to PSVR1. I don't know if that's still the case. But Skydance is still talking about how they're going to bring Retribution to PSVR1. Is Light Brigade on there? Light Brigade is still supposed to be coming to PSVR1. Like, there's still some life left in the old boy. So, like, so Snafu, like, man, if you still got games to play, good on you. However, and don't play Neon Hat. See, I think for $3, if you're curious about it, just knowing that it's not so good, like, there were cool things about it. I love the art style. There's got to be better sales than that. I mean, there's got to be better games on sale than that. But he's curious about Neon Hat. It's not a good game, but I think it has cool things going on. Right, very very retro inspired as far as like video games are concerned. The boss fights were cool, and it was just, I don't know, man. Like, I wouldn't pay more than $3, so that should tell you everything you need to know. Yeah, but you're saying no even at $3? I'm saying no. I'm saying I bought coffee that cost more than $3, so that's kind of where I'm at with that. Is that $3 is like kind of whatever, like. But no, if you're looking for a good game, don't buy it. I'm not playing Neon Hat trailer now. Berbercat with the 5 quid says, nothing. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but either way. Dude, so I was just talking about Hello Neighbor. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I missed time to play VR. 2 quid. Yeah. I need to fold 178.500 pizza menus tonight. What? Best of luck to you. What? Is it just me? Am I the confused one, or is everybody confused today? I don't know what the hell's happening. Time to play. I feel like that tip needs more context. Anything with pizza needs more context, for sure. All right, yeah, dude. So we were just talking about Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue coming out this week. Something I didn't anticipate when I put out PSVR this week on Saturday, that people were going to be so confused about Hello Neighbor. I guess whatever it had said on the PlayStation Store, maybe there was a price there, maybe there was a release date there, but apparently that all changed, and now what it says on the PlayStation Store is just the same old stuff that for a boring wish list, right? It's like you click a button, you can add it to your wish list. It says coming, release date to be announced, or coming soon, or something along those lines. And so I get so many comments, and I do appreciate you guys kind of keeping me on my toes and making sure that like I've got my information straight. But I get way more comments than I anticipated saying, no, Hello Neighbor got delayed, making me search high and low for an announcement of a delay. But then I talked to the developers over and over for the last week, and they're like, yeah, we're getting you keys. It's coming out on the 25th. It's coming out on all platforms simultaneously, and nothing happened. So I was so happy when I woke up today and saw this blog post. It says, Hello Neighbor VR Search and Rescue comes to PSVR2 May 25th. Note, AJ, in this entire article, it says nothing about PSVR1. Oh. So I don't know if it's just been quietly canceled for PSVR1, and that was the reason for like the snafu on the PlayStation Store, or what happened. But yeah, something definitely happened. Well, I'm glad it's still coming out at the end of the day for even, just for PSVR2. I mean, I play only PSVR2 now, so that's really all I care about. I know, obviously, it's always better when there's simultaneous release, but I'm just glad it's still coming out because I've I've been kind of intrigued by this game. I told you, I think before, that I played the first game is available on PlayStation Plus Premium or something like that. And so I was like, hey, this is coming to PlayStation VR2. Let me check it out, see what it's like. And it was all right. Like it's a little bit of stealth, a little bit of puzzle solving, problem solving, and surviving this, Mr. Peterson guy that, despite having like a, kind of cartoony look to it, it's definitely got some pretty dark themes going on, and I like that kind of contrast to it. Do
they address why he's keeping a kid locked up in his basement? Like, I mean, it screams pedophile, child killer. Like it's a cartoony game that clearly is way darker than it looks.
I think that's just kind of the appeal of it. No, I don't know like the whole backstory behind it or something. Maybe he might be like a demon or something or something like that.
Let's hope that's it, because I don't think I want to play a game like about a pedophile living next door.
I think it is something that you wouldn't expect to find nowadays. And I think that's sort of part of the charm, is like, it's like a kid's game, but it looks like a kid's game. It's like, but it's got these like real adult themes to it and stuff. And I think there was a time where stuff like that was actually like kind of like interesting to kids and stuff. It's like a horror game for kids or something, like almost, I don't know. I was trying to make some good comparisons, but I can't think of much. I wanted to say almost like Goonies or something, but that's not really adult themed. Kind of.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Like those are like murderous crooks and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's true. The Pacellis, was that their name? Yeah, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, I was actually reading through this article, and I've sort of been picking up bits and pieces about Hello Neighbor Search and Rescue over the last few months, ever since it was announced, and there's something really appealing about this that I sort of finally kind of came to grips with it and understood based on like the short little videos that they've shown recently, and that's how you've got like an arsenal of kids that you're playing as, working as. And they're working together, and each one has like a different ability, and you kind of switch to different kids on the fly to solve different problems. And dude, immediately I got Maniac Mansion vibes. Like this is like Maniac Mansion is like the seminal game of my childhood, right? I had a giant Maniac Mansion poster up on my wall. That's what made me fall in love with Lucasfilm games. Like that was like the thing that made me just like, I'd always played video games up until that point, but that was the first game that I ever chose for myself. And I was like, this is the game I want to play. And then I obsessed over it for like fucking a year until Zack McCracken came out. And I learned how to play through the entire game with all the different combinations of characters and stuff. And they all had different abilities, the same thing. And so I'm wondering just how like, how much they're going to lean into that for this game. Or if it's just going to be like, oh, this kid knows how to turn a lock. Oh, this one knows how to jump. It's like, that might not be.
No, it's going to be like one has a slingshot and one has, I don't know.
Yeah. But anyway, have no fear. The game is still scheduled to launch this week on the 25th. So good stuff.
Like
man.
I said,
yeah,
very intrigued by this one. I have, not really sure what to expect entirely, but I hope it's good. Because I find it pretty interesting.
Nice. Niles Ryan, the game feline, with the $5 tip says, Wednesday hype on full tilt. My wallet is ready. Do you think they're going to try to sell you something during the showcase?
I don't think you can buy it yet, but
right. Time to play VR with the 2 quizzes. I'll put a video on Discord. I guess he's going to explain the pizza menu folding. Thank you very much. I'll be looking forward to that after the show. Corky the Game Cat with the $5 tip says, Cowabunga Pizza Bros. Thanks, man. I haven't had pizza in a long time. I might have to get one soon. I'm craving it big time. And I think, does that get us caught up? I don't know. I guess scroll. Who were you responding to in the chat, AJ? Because you're making me look bad here. Just shout people out, man, and like give them some attention. Brian and AJ says, Alan Almasi. Brian and AJ, what hybrid game would drive you crazy with excitement? How did you respond to that in the chat?
Well, I said there are many, but I just picked one at random because he kept asking and I felt bad.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
And
gonna.
so I just
What if
said
I keep
Returnal.
asking? Will you feel bad?
No.
Yeah,
I said Returnal. Returnal
it's a good one.
would be, I don't, it's not something I really expect most likely, but Returnal would be like something that would like blow my mind. I mean, but there's so many answers to that, which,
Yeah.
there's like so many answers.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Judas, right? Because Judas is, the new game by Ghost Story Games, who was formerly Irrational, and the creators of the original Bioshock. So I'm really, really hoping that, and if you saw the trailer for Judas, I can pull it up. It has some really strong Bioshock vibes. So my guess is that at some point Irrational lost the rights to it. It's probably owned by 2K. And this is and by creating Judas, this is their way of. Oh, I don't have a trailer. That's weird. This is going to be their way of like kind of regaining control of an IP that they probably that's probably near and dear to their hearts. So hopefully Judas ends up playing a lot like Bioshock. And man, if that is a hybrid game and we're able to play that completely on PlayStation VR2, then maybe that'll satisfy some of those Bioshock VR desires that I've had for literally the entire lifespan of the PlayStation VR 1.
A very long time.
Very long
And I
time.
think you have a better chance of this happening than Bioshock.
Yeah. I think so too. So I'm going to go with Judas. If Judas or Bioshock gets announced for PlayStation VR 2, I will be extremely excited. But let's.
And for the record,
Yeah.
Alan says, for me, I'd be super excited for Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
I must agree.
Yeah. The funny thing is fuck the run of show. This is way more interesting.
Showcase week, baby.
Right. Yeah, we've been there's obviously been a lot of rumors circulating leading up to the showcase and just in general. And one of the big ones lately is the rumor of like Metal Gear Solid 3
yes.
Being remade for PlayStation 5 and Xbox or whatever. So
that.
Well, but my question is who would make it? Right? Who would be the developer of Metal Gear Solid 3 remake? Because Konami's not making fucking shit anymore, right? They've announced like 5 Silent Hill games and they're not making any of them.
Yeah, I don't know. The Blue Point's working on like an original game, I think, right?
Blue Point's working on an original game, except so ever since it came out that that Metal Gear Solid is likely cross-platform, that'll be an Xbox game as well. I don't see a studio owned by Sony working on a game that'll come cross-platform.
True. So it could be like anybody.
Yeah.
And to be honest, the game is already there. If you're just remaking it, a lot of people could do that.
Yeah, which is why obviously I think Bloober Team. Bloober Team's a good studio. I don't think they're an amazing studio. And so for them to be the ones handling the Silent Hill 2 remake, it's like,
oh, maybe, yeah.
Well, I mean, I just mean like, I just mean as far as Konami's concerned, they're not exactly holding these things to the highest standards. So literally it could be any studio remaking it. Again, nothing wrong with Bloober Team. They're just not like this phenomenal studio that I would trust an IP like Silent Hill to. So I don't know. We'll see. All right, man. A couple more news stories, then we'll get to 100% showcase talk. And that's that, dude. We got some good news. I think it was just today that Pixel Ripped 1978 is coming. I think sooner than we all expected. It's coming June 15th.
Love it, man. I'm really excited about this game for many different reasons. The last trailer looked great. I love, we've been big fans of the Pixel Rip series for a long time now.
Yeah.
It's a really cool, fun, unique idea of like a game within a game. And this one's really interesting because they've officially partnered with Atari and to do this one. So it's just going to have like a next little extra level of authenticity with it that they can actually use like Atari licensed stuff. It's got to be a dream come true for them. Then it probably makes it a lot easier for them. But beyond that, you look at the gameplay and stuff, and it just looks like a rad time, man.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many interesting gameplay developments in Pixar 1995. They took things like a little bit step further here and there, and so I am really curious to see how they handle things this time. What they just showed in the trailer is like you have an ability to basically warp inside the game at will by using the whatever the hell's on your arm. It's too early for the power glove. I forget what
power glove.
Yeah. And so I'm very curious to see like how much freedom you have in that. Like, is it just going to like glow at a certain point, and that's when you go, okay, we're going to warp inside the game manually. But I don't know. But it's good, man. Yeah, I feel like anytime a new Pixel Rip game comes out, it's time to celebrate. I have great memories, man. It's funny because I just got a text. I just got a text from my dad that we're cleaning out like my grandparents' house, and it's definitely a sad moment. They're selling the house and cleaning it out, and like it's an end of an era. I have so many memories growing up in my with my grandparents, like swimming at their pool during the summer and hanging out with my cousins there. And I just have like this really fucking weird memory of an Atari 2600 in their basement. My grandparents were not gamers. I don't know why this is a memory I have. I don't know. I don't really understand the whole thing. But I do believe it's true. And I just remember playing Stampede on the Atari 2600 in their basement. And it's just like such a nice memory. And I literally minutes before the show aired, my dad sent me a text and was like, we're cleaning out their house. Is there anything you want? Let me know. And I was like, part of me was like, I kind of want that 2600. But part of me was like, you guys have too much shit to worry about. Like, you just toss everything. So,
I have like some kind of Atari somewhere. It's like my old roommate gave it to me or something. I've got like Donkey Kong and like that's it or something.
Yeah, right on. Good stuff. Super elastic bubble plastic game cat with a $10 tip says, love what we got so far, but if I see one more zombie game, I'm gonna freak. Where is the imagination? I swear if I see a zombie, I won't shoot it. I will just stand there and let it and say, eat me.
Super elastic, you want to play a zombie game? What?
So wait,
shout out to Angry Joe.
Am I just immune to this? Obviously, we get the Saints and Sinners games, Zombieland, Headshot Fever, which whatever. What am I missing, man? Like, making it sound like we have thousands of zombie games. We have 70 games and 68 of them are zombie games.
There's just a lot of zombie games in general. I mean, yeah. And it's a genre. I mean, yeah, it's a pretty worn out genre. Genre. But yeah, you haven't seen the last of zombie games. There's going to be a billion more for the rest of your life. So
yeah.
Sorry,
and I do apologize for being part of the problem, Super Elastic Bubble Plastic, but I love me some fucking zombie games. So
I do think they make for some good game mechanics, which is why I give them the pass. It's like they are fun. It's kind of like gore for me. It's like I don't care about gore. I don't like gore.
Yeah. But
in a video game, I love it.
Yeah. I guess that's true. I'll take gore in a video game. I don't even really love gore in my horror movies, which is strange. Like if it's there, it's fine, but I don't want that to be the focus of the movie. So many horror movies are all about the gore, and I was like, man, just make sure that it's scary.
Gore doesn't make something scary.
Speaking of gore aficionados, Darth Vader, the Gamecat with a $2 tip says, I hope for Borderlands 3 with full co-op support. Dude, so I'd made a bet with Dan over at Skydance, formerly of To The Top fame. I had bet him, I think, that by the launch of PSVR2, so this is obviously a bet that I have lost long ago. I bet him that either Borderlands game or Tiny Tina's Wonderland, a spin-off Borderlands game, something in the Borderlands realm would be announced for PSVR2 by the launch of PSVR2. So we made this bet a while ago, and I have officially lost that pizza bet. But I still have hope. I think that big announcements like this are things that, again, Sony would want to do on their stage, that they'd want to be the ones announcing. And they are set to take the stage in just 2 days from now. So I still lost the bet. I owe him a pizza. There's no getting around it. Doesn't matter.
So Pixel Rip, Brian. No, I totally forgot we were talking about Pixel Rip.
We're not. We're talking about Undead Citadel now, AJ. Undead Citadel. Dude, okay, so if everybody remembers, Undead Citadel. It was kind of casually announced on their Discord that they were shooting for it to be a PlayStation VR2 launch title, right? And then a few weeks before launch, they said, "Hey, this was a real missed opportunity. We tried, it didn't happen. So that we're gonna go back and focus on the PC VR version, and then we'll talk about the PSVR2 version in the future."
Didn't the game go gold? Oh no, it was like almost.
Yeah, there's a release date. There's a release date for the PC VR version. Now, it has shown up on the PlayStation Store. Now, here
a game, right?
A game?
Again?
No, this is the first time. This is the first time it's ever been on the PlayStation Store.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. You're making me doubt myself, but I'm pretty sure.
I thought this showed up on the store before.
Nope, pretty sure that this is the first time it's ever been on the store. Again, I could be wrong. If anybody wants to fact check me, please, for the love of God. But yeah, it is up there. It's got some additional information. Probably nothing that isn't on the Steam page, but it is good to see it. It's just available for wishlist. There's no release date, but I will say I don't think it's that far off, right? Because if they were rushing to try to get this thing out for the PlayStation VR2 launch and then didn't make it, that means they were mere months away from finishing that build. So I can't imagine this thing is more than a few months away. So
yeah, man, I feel this is a pretty good sign that it's getting ready for release on PSVR 2. I'm a believer now. I don't know. I've said over and over I'm so disappointed, but I'm just so disappointed in waiting for this game and waiting so long. I mean, when you wait, what is it, 5-6 years for something?
This got announced over 4 years ago at this point. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 4 or 5 years ago. I was excited about it, and but no, this game just looks freaking awesome. So yeah, I want it pretty bad for an indie game. This looks like pretty quality, and it just looks like a badass game. So I really hope that this is a sign that it's coming to us, like maybe this summer or something. And yeah, looking forward to playing it because Undead Citadel, man, it is time. Yeah, it's time we get this bad boy.
Yeah, this is sort of how developers and publishers can find themselves in a real bad spot when it comes to announcing games too early. I'm sure that when these guys came up with the concept of this game and they came up with like the 5-second teaser 4.5 years ago, that they certainly were not expecting it to take this long to finish. But I mean, I guess game development just happens differently these days, right? Like this very frequently, it's all about support from the community. It's all about, hey, we just want to show you what we're working on, and we want to show you that, hey, here's our new physics engine, here's how this works, and here's a new weapon, and here's a new enemy type, and here's how melee works, here's how range combat works. And this is kind of what Darkari's been doing. Is like every 8 months or so, it's like here's another animated GIF or a short video clip or something that says here's something to be excited for. And I did play this on Steam VR when they had the demo fest or whatever the fuck it was, and I got to play the horde mode, and so the mechanics of this game actually feel really good. But I'm very, very curious how the levels are laid out. There's the description of this game talks about puzzles, 10 different levels, exploration, items to find, and to me, that just makes it so much more than like an arena fighter, because I'm just not like a huge fan of when it comes to games like Blade and Sorcery and Swordsman, even Hellsplit. Like these are games that like I understand the appeal of, but they're not designed for me. Like this is not what I'm looking for in a game. I think Undead Citadel is what I'm looking for in a game.
Yeah, it's those kind of mechanics and physics driven combat, but in a game.
Yeah.
And not just an arena fighter. Arena fighters used to be a little bit different. Because they were kind of like, there was like a mastery to them. These are like great, some of the ones today, they're like nice display of physics and, nice, they do these technical things well, but there's like nothing to like get better at really, or master, or figure out. Like it's just very straightforward. So it hits a little bit different with the arena brawlers. This, like you said, going to, even if it's like, you know, not the longest game or something, just to go on a satisfying like adventure, a campaign, something like that would really go a long way.
Yeah, if this is like, you know, 6 or 7 hours, $30 or something like that. Like, man, we have no idea what the price point is for this game. We have no idea what the length is. But you know what? I feel like I haven't played anything like this. I'm trying to think of like, you know, you could start pointing to games like Swordsman and Blade and Sorcery, but like, you know, no, but this is different. Like I just don't remember the last time we played something like this, and this just sort of has the aesthetic and the atmosphere of something that I'm looking for. So I'm excited, but you know, cautiously so. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it could have like a short, crappy campaign.
Yeah,
and I'd be so pissed.
Oh man, yeah, for real. Attila Halgado with the
Attila Halgado.
Is it
sorry
Hakuna Matata?
No, it's Attila Halgado. I don't remember.
With the 100 Huff HUF. With the 1,000 Huff and Puffs says I'd really and then blowed our house down. I'd really like to see Static coming to PSVR 2 as I never had the chance to try it. Stanley Parable could be fantastic. When is Firmament arriving? So many questions with the 1,000 Huff and Puffs. Let's can I take the second part first, Chuck? Okay. Stanley Parable would be fantastic. I've actually never played Stanley Parable. I've only heard about it, seen gameplay. It looks like that kind of looks like my kind of game too. Static on PSVR 2, I have to say, I don't know how that would work. Right? Because
they would have to make a Static 2 with 2 boxes on your hands. Right,
exactly. A box on each hand. Because it was definitely designed for the DualShock 4 specifically. Did it have touchpad? That's the thing I can't remember. Like I'm pretty sure it had touchpad inputs. So it would have to be redesigned significantly, and you might as well just make a sequel.
You could maybe do it with the DualSense.
You could. It wouldn't track 1-to-1, but yeah, I don't know, man. That sucks.
It didn't have like a whole bunch of tracking, anyways. But yeah.
And then finally, when is Firmament arriving? There's no specific date. Firmament looks wonderful. I can't wait to play it. But you know, Cyan Worlds
later.
Yeah, I think after Abduction, they're not really willing to say, hey, this is when this game's coming out. I'm sure they just want to make sure that it's
releasing on Steam something first, and then PSVR 2 later.
Yeah, and I'm totally fine with dates that just say later. Like, fucking dude, we've got so much coming that like
I need a break from puzzle games, man. I'm totally fine with it.
Yeah, I'm totally fine with it too. I saw Corey Massey in the chat asking about Hubris because on the PlayStation blog at the end of last month they said that Hubris would be out on PlayStation VR 2 in May. Well, there's still 9 days left in May, so I haven't given up hope. However, I did bet on a prior GAMESCAST that it would slip into June. I think I said June 1st would be my bet, but anytime in the first couple weeks of June I think is a possibility.
The devs actually responded to somebody because I had tweeted about the game, and somebody said we're nearing the end of May. Where is it? Mm-hmm. And the devs of Hubris actually said, "Look, we're trying really hard, and we just want to make sure it's really good." And they said, you know, they understand that you're frustrated, but they're working on it, and they want it to be good and stuff. So yeah. I mean, it's
translation. We can't quite seem to pass Sony's QA.
Yeah. They should really come out and like preemptively say stuff like that.
Yeah.
But,
well,
you know, instead of like hearing about it, like I basically got confirmation from them, like responding to somebody in my comments, but it's like, it's not the best, but I get it. You made a big announcement, and who knows?
Yeah. Super Elastic Bubble Plastic with the $5 tip says, I hope I don't come off as a zombie hater. I apologize to my undead corporeal revenants. Dude, I can't read today. Not coming off as a zombie hater, but you know,
tons of people are sick of zombies.
So I believe that is true, but there's way more that aren't sick of them because
I feel like there was an era for like maybe like 5-10 years, like 5-7 years, especially when like Walking Dead was still going strong and everything, and Days Gone and Daisy and World War Z. World War Z is what I meant. I feel like we got kind of over that zombie overload, but
some of you got over it. I'm still in the trenches. See, here's the good thing about where I've been for the better part of the last decade. I've been stuck in PSVR land, right? And so there might have been a shit ton of zombie games that came to flat screen that I just didn't play, right? The only flat screen game I've really played over the last 6 years was Days Gone. And I was like, this is great, man. This is a different type of zombie game. This is wonderful. And so I'm kind of in my head, I'm like, I need a little bit more of this. But I need this in VR. So I am not sick of zombies. Although we did get plenty of zombie games in VR. I'm not gonna make it sound like that, but we got way more on the flat screen. Jeremy, the NES rookie with the New Zealand 2. Is he still your sci-fi game cat, Henry?
Yes.
Nice, good
That's
job,
my
Jeremy.
dude right there. What up, Jeremy?
With the New Zealand 250 says, do y'all think we'll get any "it's out today" games? Meaning during the showcase, they might say, check out this game, and it's out today. What do you think? Beat Saber, motherfuckers. Beat Saber. That game's been done for 7 months. I mean, come on, it's Beat Saber. There can't be. The only reason that game is out has nothing to do with how long it took to port it to PSVR 2. The only reason that game isn't out is because either A, somebody wanted to do and it's out today event, or there's supposed to be this massive update coming where there's like a progression system and unlockables and custom skins and shit like that, right? Where like it enhances the multiplayer stuff. If they're planning on launching this big update, like maybe they just want, I think Miles was suggesting that maybe they want that to come to Quest first, they want that to come to other platforms first, and then we'll get it or something. But it's not the port process that's holding this game up. Beat Saber was probably ready for PSVR 2 6 months ago.
Yeah, I think if there's a game that drops, it's either Beat Saber or Among Us.
Oh yeah, Among Us, again, another game that I feel like somebody could probably port to PSVR 2 in a weekend.
Yeah, for
like
real.
There's just not a lot to that game. Like
you can literally flip a switch.
it's fun, man. Like Among Us VR is fun, but there's not much to it. The fun is made by hanging out with your friends and laughing. So yeah, not a whole lot going on in the maps or the interactions. But luckily it's fun. What is it, like $10?
I think Shell Games are mad at PSVR. Or they're just in bed with Meta.
That's more likely.
Which is more likely.
Yeah. Definitely plenty of stories of companies that are not publicly in bed with Meta, but behind the scenes are. So that's where we'll stop that story. Double M Gaming with the $10 tip says, I'm mad! My Sense controller stopped working! Out of nowhere! Sorry. I'm just trying. It wasn't even in all caps. Like I'm just trying to convey his frustration. Out of nowhere, analog buttons, nothing but the PS button. Tried to reset, updates, nothing worked. Sony said, send the Sense and headset, and it'll take a month. Yeah, well, so my first PSVR 2 is sitting over here, and it's the box just showed up. It's time to send it to Sony. I unfortunately am in a worse predicament than you, Double M, because this is my job. And so I had to run out and buy another PSVR 2 headset in the middle of the night. But I guess...
And you did it from a store?
I did it from... Yeah, dude. Didn't you hear the story?
That's great news.
It was because of a midnight release of Zelda. That's the only reason I was able to buy a PSVR 2 at like midnight.
Nice.
So thank you, Zelda. The
I
lady
got the second half of that show.
The lady's like, you don't want Zelda? I was like, no, I want a PSVR 2. And she's like, you're the only one we've ever heard say that. So, I'm like, I know, lady. I know. It's my job. I hear it all the time. So anyway, dude, so we have been waiting so long for this showcase. It is time. We're finally getting it this Wednesday, 4 p.m. If you guys are going to watch it, please watch it with us. I already have a live stream set up. Our live stream is going to start at 3:30 p.m. Eastern, which is 30 minutes before the event starts. Miles is going to be there, and Wes is going to be there. Who's the other guy? Tornado's going to be there.
Yes, Tornado. I love Tornado.
AJ is going to be there.
I'm gonna be there,
and Timmy's gonna be there, and Billy, and Ricky, and Bobby. We're all gonna be there.
We got the whole crew, man. That's gonna be awesome.
We're all gonna be there. Really, AJ's gonna be on mute.
I was gonna say you're probably gonna have to mute me because I'm probably gonna be yelling a lot.
It's Gran Turismo! Oh my god! Oh my god, it's Gran Turismo!
You got so mad at me.
I was so mad at you. I was like, I can't even hear the announcement over your.
We need to make sure we're like in sync with our videos too, because that just made it worse. That I was yelling before you even saw what that makes it worse. If we are in sync, it's not so bad. But yeah, man. Just let me yell, let me speak, let me be free.
Dude, I'm gonna be ready to mute you because we you know I'm always a little concerned. Like there's always a delicate balance with these things, right? Because like you guys are here to watch it with us because like you want to hang out with us and get our reactions live as they happen.
You can just go watch it from the state of play if you don't want to hear loud yelling and celebrating.
Well, they also want to they want to share in the excitement, but they also want to know what's going on, as I do as well. So there's always a happy medium, a nice little balance you have to strike when you do these things, and we I guarantee you we will not strike that balance this time because we've been too goddamn excited for this.
Yeah, there's no way, unless it's just completely underwhelming and I'm like bored. But otherwise, if there's some big announcements, which I'm expecting. Yeah, like get damn right I'm gonna yell my lungs out because like it's been a long time, man. It's been a long time. We've been waiting for this forever.
It's been a while.
Damn it. Tried to get around it.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but it's also been a while. So listen, you know, before AJ and I sit up here and we talk about what we expect to see and expectations and disappointments and all that stuff. I want to talk about what you guys expect to see because if you go over, I put up a poll over on Twitter, and because here's the big question, AJ. The big question is, sorry, why won't things just work properly?
What is your favorite color?
The thing is that this is the first. Sony
what is
showcase.
The thing, Brian?
This is the first Sony showcase we've had in 2 years.
Yeah.
Though I mean, you know, in the last couple showcases we had, like PSVR1 was essentially on its way out, and here we are with PlayStation VR2 being the newest thing that Sony has released hardware wise, and so the question I think that we're trying to kind of wrap our minds around is this showcase meant to sell people on PSVR2? Is this going to be the PlayStation VR2 event that we never got? Right, for the launch of PSVR2, because it just kind of like came out, and other than PlayStation blog post, there wasn't a whole lot of excitement on Sony's part about it. Or are they so worried about the flat screeners out there, the people who are only interested in flat screen PlayStation 5 games, that they're going to relegate PSVR2 to this tiny little corner of the showcase? What do you think, AJ?
Well, while I do think the main focus will be non-VR stuff, if there's one thing I've learned about this, you know, the way Sony is doing things now, is that one of the benefits to them getting away from having this closer connection with the community and more open and you know, having more like artsy risk-taking games. The difference now is that they're very much focused on making money and making profits and making people excited and using big blockbuster AAA games, big titles to do so, right. Much more than ever. So I think that's one of the benefits that we find with the situation that we find ourselves in, is that when Sony are the ones coming up and hosting a showcase, hosting an event like CES, we get announcements like Gran Turismo, like Horizon Call of the Mountain. Right. I think what makes me most excited about this showcase is that I feel like this is Sony's stage. You know, we've gotten stuff like even as big as like Firewall, which I consider a pretty big deal. That's been on the PlayStation blog. Pixel Rip 1978 on the blog. All these things have been on the blog, and so like it's like that's like what do they have on the big stage then? Like because these are indie games, but these are great games. Stuff like Red Matter 2 and all these.
And dude, and that's not even to count like state of plays. Like we've had state of plays recently where they talked about Journey to Foundation, in Synapse, and what else? Yeah. Like these are decent games coming our way, but they're not the big blockbusters that you'd expect to see in a PlayStation showcase. So let's start from the beginning here, because the first question I want to ask you, the question that I asked everybody that I polled on Twitter today, was this showcase is meant to be over an hour. So let's say anywhere from 60 to 70 minutes or so, right? How many of those minutes, AJ, do you think will focus on PSVR2? And that includes hybrid games, right? Because I do fully expect there to be a few games shown, and at the end of the trailer, either show the PSVR2 mode or just show the PSVR2 logo alongside the PlayStation 5 logo. So how many minutes during this 60 to 70 minute showcase do you expect to have a PlayStation VR2 focus?
I don't know. I guess I think around like 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes.
Okay. So
like if you add it all together, I feel like, because it's not going to all be at once, I don't think. I think, but if you add everything together, it could be a total of 20 minutes or, a lot of these games, like you said, this would be the place to show a lot of hybrid games where it's like, this is a potential dream showcase for you, Brian, because this could be like, and this whole game that you just saw that looks badass, guess what? It's also playable in VR.
Right. Well, let me tell you what the Gamecat said. Okay, with 849 votes so far, almost 22% of them think that, including hybrid games, there will be less than 5 minutes of PSVR2 coverage. That is not AJ, I love it. That is not a small percentage of people who think that.
Look at what Sony has done to them, Brian.
Right.
Our poor game cats.
Right. We've been beaten down, right?
Yeah, man.
And over the last 2 years, since PlayStation 5 has come out, there's been very little push for anything at all on Sony's part, right? Because PlayStation 5s were impossible to get. PlayStation VR2s were only being sold through direct. I mean, so many different reasons. And so we didn't really get any real push from Sony. And so we've gotten really used to being like, oh, don't expect anything. And so I kind of applaud those 22% of people, despite the fact that the PlayStation blog post regarding this event, regarding Wednesday's showcase, says this is all about PlayStation 5 and PSVR2 games.
It literally says like a wealth of new games and IP are coming to PS5 and PSVR2.
Right.
It's literally in the title.
Exactly. So
now if this was like a 15-20 minute show, it's like, yeah, I could see that. And maybe not even, but no, this is an hour, probably gonna be hour 15, something like that. So it's a lot more time to show some stuff.
Yeah, and this is 2 years of showcases that we get all rolled up into one here. And so, and again, we didn't get an official PlayStation VR2 event to kick off the launch. We just didn't get one, right? There was like, oh, this really fucking terrible unboxing video on PlayStation's blog. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We don't care. And look, it's blue. Okay, so slightly better than the 22% of people who thought there'd be 5 minutes or less. Okay, so a majority of the people actually think that it'll be 5 to 10 minutes. 41.5%.
I mean, like I said, man, Sony has hurt us. Sony's hurt. No, I mean, look, this is Twitter. This isn't even necessarily how many votes was this?
849 so far.
Yeah. This is probably a lot of just random Twitter people too.
Sure. Dude, I mean, but there's a lot of pessimism going around.
Don't know shit.
But there's a lot of pessimism going around, even in the hardest core of the hardcore PSVR2 fans. Like, everybody is like, why haven't Sony said anything in the 3 months since it's launched? Why haven't we got any more AAA games in the 3 months since it's launched? Why aren't there more hybrid games in the 3 months since it's launched?
These are the people that said that it's only launching with Horizon.
Right.
These are those same people.
Right. So, and so then 28% of people say it's going to be 10 to 20 minutes. And so that's pretty optimistic, I think. And then almost 9% of the people polled thinks 20 minutes or more. So
It'd be great.
Like, so what are you, did you throw out a number? Did you say 20 minutes? Is that what you said?
I said like, I think around the 15-20 minute mark.
Yeah. Double M Gaming just put a comment 3 minutes ago, said, "Hi Gamecats, I'm on TV, literally watching the show," and commented to get in here. Giga Dad says, "I want 20 or more. Expectations are 5 minutes or less." I think it's smart to go in with lower expectations. I've never been able to do that. I'm the eternal optimist. I will always shoot for the stars and end up landing somewhere in Florida, very unhappily. Simon Appleton says, "The only PSVR2 games I want to see are Half-Life Alyx and Beat Saber." Okay, Simon Appleton, how likely do you think he's gonna finish watching this and be happy?
Oh,
Beat Saber and Alyx.
All I'm wondering, if that's the only two games you want, why didn't you just buy a PC like 3 years ago?
I mean, that's kind of true, but
you know, if that's all you want, like that shit's been out for like years, dog.
Yeah. But I will say, I think Alyx would satisfy. I think Alyx would satisfy a lot of people, right? Because in a lot of people's minds, and I think rightfully so, that's the biggest AAA VR game out there, right? That's the biggest built from the ground up AAA VR game that exists, and so I think people want that, and so I really think that Sony should probably give it to them. Make it happen.
I agree with you, Brian, but my first prediction for the Sony Showcase is that Sony will not announce Half-Life Alyx for the PlayStation VR2, although they should, and although it would be super hype. That's my bold prediction. It's actually what they're not going to announce, which is Half-Life Alyx.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Should feel angry. Hurt.
Looper the Underground Game Cat with the €5 says, "Imagine having VR content also in development in the end of every flat screen trailer." AJ, let me ask you this. You know that my dream in this world, I'm a simple man. I ask for simple things. My dream is that somebody's on stage and shows off a bunch of games, a bunch of flat screen PlayStation games.
And everything you just saw.
And then after they show 20 games, they go, and everything you just saw is fully playable on PlayStation VR2. Now, what I think there's another element of this, right? Not all these games have to be Village. Some of these games could just easily be played in the headset, right? And use the DualSense controller. And it's just like, hey, here's another way to experience this game, right? It's still played the exact same way, in the exact same perspective, with the exact same controller. But here you are, you get to sit in VR and look around and admire this beautiful world. How possible do you think that is?
Well, for like every game?
I mean, just to say, hey, like this is something that people, I feel like this is sort of something that people have been asking for. And so for every game that doesn't have a dedicated VR mode where they actually went in and made it VR AF and gave you a first person perspective and the options to use two hands in the game, every game that doesn't do that gives you the option just to play it in third person with a DualSense controller.
I mean, that would be cool. I do think we most likely get some hybrid announcements before that. I'm okay with like, yeah, you can play this in VR and like your VR is the camera. I don't think that's what makes VR special or unique, or at least that's what makes people go out and buy headsets. It's like, I don't know. Like, it's cool, but it's kind of like, that's like one of the last features I would think is what VR really needs. I mean, yes, it's fine, but it's not a reason to buy a VR. You want it for what you can't do on a TV. I do think that it's like a more immersive way to play the game, because I've played some, lots of third person VR games, and it is more immersive that way. It would get me to play personally. It would get me to play a lot more flat games if I could do that. But I don't think that's what the appeal of VR is for me.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm 100% with you. Like that's not that wouldn't excite me. I would say this is really cool, like, because I've heard so many people ask for this over the years, right? Like an RE4 VR mod just came out on PC a little while ago, and everyone's playing that in third person, being like, "This is great, I love this, this is awesome," right? And I think so. That's like kind of the bare minimum that people are asking for.
This would benefit. This would get VR gamers who don't play flat games anymore to play non-VR games. This is how you would. That's the biggest effect that would have.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, because we've learned over the years that it's certainly not easy just to flip a switch and make a game in VR. Like, say take this flat screen and boom, now it's in VR, and like, here you go, you're in first person, and like there's a lot of work involved. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of money involved in that. That's a thing, right? And so my dream of that statement happening in one of these showcases, I feel like, is getting further and further away instead of closer and closer, right? And so this scenario that I presented is kind of the only way I sort of imagine it happening. And then at that, by the same token, I'm like, I don't know how many gamers want that. I don't know how much Sony wants that, and I don't know how much we want that. And so it's something that's always floating around in my head, and I'm never really quite sure of the answer.
Well, we do. I mean, going by some of the info, that you told us about forever ago, that was from like legitimate sources, like an actual Sony event. Yep. We know that their goal is to have built from the games that feel built from the ground up for VR. And I don't think that's what just having a third person view implies.
Oh, so absolutely.
Stuff like, Gran Turismo 7, stuff like Resident Evil Village is probably more so.
Right.
What I'm, at least that's what I'm kind of expecting, big announcements like that.
Right. And that, I mean, yeah, and that comes from the Game Developer Summit. I want to say it happened like August. Was that 2021? Could that have been that
was so long ago?
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's the first time the word hybrid game was ever used by Sony, and that was behind closed doors.
Oh, it might have been 2022.
But that wasn't that long ago. I don't know, man. Like, time is meaningless to me. Ever since the pandemic hit,
maybe it was 2021.
I got 6 years older, and gained 80 pounds in 3 years. It's crazy. All right, let's go. I got 2 tips to take care of, and then we'll get back to this. Salvidore, what's up, Salvidore? Salvidore sent me an Astrobot thingamabob. Hey, wait, it's right here. Hold on a second.
I'm ready to go down this gauntlet of questions.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hold on a second.
I'm ready for this viewer takeover question. I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll tackle that. Here, let me just
I got that thing too.
Yeah, did Salvador send it to you?
Oh. Wait, did you send me that, Salvador? Is that where that came from?
You can do this. Come on, camera. You can do this.
Did I not even read the label?
Check it out. Thank you, Salvador. Yeah, if you got one, I'm guessing it's probably from him. So, there.
Grimrock says, wait, isn't Moss one of AJ's favorite games, third person? Yes, there are, like, dude, Astrobot.
Well, but that's a different story. Astrobot, Astrobot and Moss are still games built from the ground up for VR, right?
Yeah. And I think you can have great third person games. Yes, some of my favorite, in fact. But yeah, that's not the same as just like taking any game and putting it in VR.
So Salvador said with the $10 tip, says, what a good birthday gift from Sony with the showcase this week. Y'all are the best. Salvador, if your birthday's on Wednesday, then happy birthday. If your birthday's today, then happy birthday.
Salvador.
If we missed your birthday, then happy belated. And then we have...
That's my dude.
Yeah, hell yeah. Mark Smith. With the level 2 membership, says my wife and I are expecting baby number 3. Holy shit. When they're old enough, I hope you're raising your kids better than the kids I played against.
Dude, all the cats have cool kids. Dude, I've even played multiplayer.
Don't say that, right? Kids. Most of the cats have cool kids. There's some cats out there that have kids who are like,
shout out to Dead Ringer Juniors and
yeah. Oh yeah, no, little. I played Fortnite with Little Ringer, and he's awesome. And there's a bunch of Little Ringers. In my head, there's 7 of them, but I think there's only a couple. Mark Smith says, my wife and I are expecting baby number 3. Congratulations.
Congrats, man.
When they're old enough, VR is going to be crazy, or whatever immersive video games become. Dude. I can barely keep up with. I can barely handle the shit that like we're having right now, and to think that in 10 years from now or 15 years from now, the games we're playing will seem fucking primitive as hell. Like, I can't even imagine that, right? I remember, AJ, what's the first time you ever played a game and said, oh my God, can graphics ever get better than this?
Oh, man.
Right? Because, like, I said that a couple times in my life.
I think the original PS1, maybe Super Nintendo even.
Yeah, there's some early moments in games. I think I remember playing like Ghost Hunter on PS2 and like coming out of a cave and the way the light shone on me and like I would just like looked out over the ocean and shit. I was like, just remember stopping. I was probably on ecstasy or something. I called my roommate and I was like, can you believe how beautiful this looks? This is like the best looking thing ever.
It could have been like more. It could have been Donkey Kong Country maybe.
Ah, okay.
Yeah,
that works. But yeah, so I mean, like, who would have imagined that? Like, you know, fast forward 20 years, and we're playing games from the inside. It's fucking crazy. I can only imagine what games will be like in 20 years when I'm dead and buried. That joke doesn't go over well with anybody except for me, by the way. That's why I love it. All right, man. So there's a bunch of ways we could handle this discussion about the PlayStation, about the Sony Showcase, and about predictions. But you know what? Somebody kind of handled it for us. Our good friend Primal Sage over on our Discord. Remember to join our Discord. Click the link in the description below. That's how you could have played the D-Day beta with us yesterday. That's how you can get your viewer takeover questions on the show. And that's how you can hang out with us, like, if you really want to. I wouldn't. I think you probably get enough of us on these shows. But Primal Sage...
Miles,
what's up?
Hold on real quick. Miles is in the chat and he says, remember those retro games like RE Village VR? I love it, man. What up, Miles? Sorry, go ahead.
So I already feel old, okay? I already feel old.
Village as a retro game, Brian.
I already feel old. This is making
happen one day.
This is making me feel real old. Okay. So Primal Sage in the viewer takeover question, viewer takeover channel wrote, Brian and AJ, please battle it out with your predictions before the showcase by answering these 12 questions. Not what you hope. AJ, pay attention to the rules. Not what you hope.
No hope.
But what you think is likely to happen at the showcase. So we're trying to be accurate here, not optimistic. So I have to turn that part of my brain off. Winner gets golden bragging rights. In case Wes and Miles will be on the showcase stream, it could be fun to have them all. Well, no, screw those guys. We're doing this today. Sorry, Wes and Miles, you don't get to participate. Okay, so Primal Sage's first question. Are you ready for this? And by the way, Primal Sage, you better be taking notes because he said that he'll have the results on Friday. So this is on you, bud. Question number 1. Will any...
Super serious.
Super serial. Number 1. Will any first-party AAA title be announced as getting hybrid support?
Yes, absolutely.
I feel like we need to at least...
Easy yes.
I feel like we at least need to give like a guess here. It's too easy to say yes or no.
We're just going to say yes or no, Brian.
AJ, give me a prediction of a likely candidate for a first-party AAA title to be announced getting hybrid support.
Okay. What I want...
What I really, really want.
I'm not allowed to say what I want. What I want is Astrobot Rescue Mission.
Mm-hmm.
What I think is Wipeout.
What are we doing here?
What I think is going to be Wipeout.
Okay. I'm gonna. You know what? I'm gonna say yes, and that's a big yes. I feel like we're gonna hear about a few different hybrids, first party hybrids. But I'm gonna go with Twisted Metal because I definitely think we're gonna see Twisted Metal during this show.
Yours is more. Yeah, we definitely are.
Yeah. Question number 2: will any third party AAA title be announced as getting hybrid support? I think that's another big yes. I think so. Yes. Sony's been working with studios, and this has sort of been their goal for PSVR2. Third party support. Yeah.
Rasan Mills says Lost Planet. I love you, Rasan Mills.
He knows what buttons to push to get you to.
I love Lost Planet so much.
I'm trying to. Yes, I'm trying to think of.
Look, they didn't ask us what games. He just said these are yes or no questions.
All right, fine.
We can for fun.
Mm-hmm.
We can maybe throw something out there.
Sure.
But these are yes or no questions.
Okay.
Yeah. And yes to both of these. There will be a AAA first party title announced, and there will be a AAA third party title announced.
Agreed. Number 3.
Both hybrid.
Will any of the remaining German PS blog leaks of those games, one of those games be shown. If you remember a while back, there was a German PlayStation blog post, and it announced all sorts of things that it should not have announced. And he's letting us know that the ones that still haven't been shown are Wanderer, Project Wingman, and Solaris Off-World Combat 2. This is
I say yes.
Yeah.
To either, I think either Wanderer or Project Wingman are going to be announced or shown.
Yeah, I don't. So Wanderer puts me in a weird spot, right? Because I feel like Wanderer belongs in a sizzle reel, saying, "Hey, if you own the PlayStation VR 1, don't worry. Here's updates for all of these games that are coming over to PlayStation VR 2 soon." Right? Like I know that we know that Sony has been helping studios get their games over to PSVR 2. We know that they funded Rekindled. So it's definitely something they're concerned about. So I do think we'll see things like Wanderer and other PSVR 1 games. But I think it's part of like a sizzle reel. Project Wingman, yes. Solaris 2, yes. But it's also a weird place, right? Because these are supposed to be.
I don't think Solaris 2 is going to be on here.
No?
No. Without, and not Firewall?
Well, that wasn't the question. We're on question number 3, AJ. Great,
dude. Solaris, I don't think Solaris is gonna be on the stage. No way, not a chance.
Well,
Solaris is. Never mind.
I just think it's just a tough situation they're in because the games accidentally got fucking announced by them, right? And so it's no longer as impactful when you have it in a showcase. Be like, and check this out. Oh, all right, shit.
All right, Jay.
What?
Jay has called me out and said, "Way to make it boring, AJ." Fine. You know what? Let's put games with this. Mo Trucka.
Wow.
So I'm changing mine from Wipeout to Astrobot because we're seeing Astrobot Wednesday.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
Astrobot. Number 2, will any third-party AAA title be announced as getting hybrid support? Let me look at my notes. Ace Combat 8.
Okay. I'm going to go with Star Citizen.
Why does that sound? What the hell is Star Citizen?
It's Chris Roberts' game that's been in development for like a decade and has like $1 billion budget at this point. Okay, so number 4. We'll have
number 3.
What's number 3?
I'm going to say Wander.
Yeah, I think every game that we've heard about that hasn't been officially announced. Yeah, we'll see. Yes, I'm going to say Project Wingman. Yes, Solaris 2. Yes. Yeah. Number 4, will Half-Life Alyx be announced? I can't believe you're going to say no.
I know it's dumb to say. Well, I'm supposed to answer with what I actually think.
Right.
I actually think it could. I did say this before. Where like if it doesn't get announced here, then I just don't think it's coming at all. I'm going to take a risk here because you're going to say yes. I'm going to say it's not.
Wait.
That way we at least have some different answers here.
Can I ask you where this comes from? Because Miles said the same thing on Friday. He said if we don't see it here, it's probably not happening.
Because this is the number one point in time and place to announce Half-Life Alyx. That's why.
Okay, but
if it doesn't happen here, it's not happening.
But it's a 3-year-old game. It's like, what's the rush at this point?
Exactly. It's a 3-year-old game. Why wasn't it announced at launch? Why wasn't it announced yet? Like this, the only reason I could see it not being announced yet is because they've been waiting for a big stage, and this is the biggest of them all. This is bigger than E3. Yeah. This is like the biggest stage you could announce stuff on, which is why I think this is where all the big stuff gets announced. But
there's always another stage, AJ. And if this is and if Sony is it
no, they're all gone, Brian. E3 is gone. Hey, Summer Games Fest doesn't do VR.
With any luck, there's a showcase next year. So right, and so and honestly, like Half-Life Alyx, like I mean, yes, it's a huge game, right? And it's a game that a lot of people are excited about, but there's nothing saying that there isn't going to be a state of play focused PSVR 2 event somewhere down the line, getting closer to holiday, right, where they like start pushing this thing even more. And so like I think there's plenty of opportunities for them to announce Half-Life Alyx. Again, it's a 3-year-old game. Like what's the rush? I think what might happen is if there's ever going to be a Half-Life Alyx Episode 2 or something like that, then Valve will pull the exact same shit that Sony pulls with Steam and says, you can have our leftovers. You can have Horizon 1 6 years after it comes out, because that'll help us promote Horizon 2, which you're not getting right away, right? So they could do the exact same thing to Sony and say, oh yeah, we got Half-Life Alyx Episode 2 coming out in 3 years from now. Now you can have Half-Life Alyx 1.
I don't know.
Just saying.
We'll see.
It's just, I mean, random speculation. This is just fucking random shit. I do think, but in my opinion, yes, Half-Life Alyx will be announced, but no, if it doesn't get announced, I don't think it's not happening. That's my addendum.
Complete opposite of me.
It's my addendum to Primal Sage's questionnaire.
I do kind of think it is, but I think, but I 100% think if it's not here, it's never happening. All right, but I'm saying no. For the record, I'm saying no.
All right. Okay.
Because I don't think we're going to need it. That's why.
Number 5. Number 5. Will a Wipeout port be announced?
Oh, sweet. I'm glad I changed my first answer to Astrobot, because yes, I do think we hear about Wipeout here.
And what Wipeout are we talking about?
I don't know about a port.
Yeah, that's where I was at too. Because obviously Omega Collection is a great game. But there are rumors that there's a new Wipeout game in development for PSVR2 and PS5.
Yes. Although this is a great place, Brian, to hear about a lot of these first-party remasters that we haven't gotten yet. Maybe we get Astro remastered, Wipeout remastered, Blood and Truth remastered.
Mm-hmm. I feel like that's part of a sizzle reel. I feel like this. I really do think and it would be great. Like, even if there is a new Wipeout game coming, like, I want all PSVR 1 games to make it over to PSVR 2. So I will take the Omega Collection while we wait for the new Wipeout game.
Yes, maybe it's not Wipeout, a new Wipeout. Maybe it's just a port. I'm going to go with that. Yes, a Wipeout port will be announced along with other remasters of games that we should have had by now.
I'm going to say, will a Wipeout port be announced? I'm going to say it's more likely that at this event they will show a new Wipeout game and say that it also has PSVR 2 support. So I'm going to say no regarding Omega Collection, but I'm not saying that it won't happen. I mean, in the future. I mean, like, I'm guessing it probably won't happen.
I mean, the sequel or the new Wipeout game makes more sense to me, but just for fun, I kind of want to go the remastered route here.
Before we move on, I want to make sure this tip doesn't get too far away from us. Grandpa's Barbecue or Gamecat with the Australian $5 tip says,
I love that name.
Settle down.
Love barbecue.
Says, how many years before VR tech turns into holodeck style scenarios? Here's the problem.
Very, very, very long time.
Here's the problem. I don't have space to do this in VR. Like, reach back, right? every time I do this and I think that it's free and clear, I punch the bookshelf behind me, even though I'm 2 feet away from it. I have no idea of my spatial surroundings in VR. My space to play VR already is limited. Can you imagine having a room dedicated to VR that's just like, this is your holodeck room that I could walk around freely in without like tripping over wires and shit? I just can't even imagine being in a scenario like that. So I think it's going to be a long time, because right now, I think most Americans and most people on the face of this planet are living in places that are really small. Yeah. Okay, next question.
I like playing in a small space with controllers and buttons to joysticks and shit.
Yeah, it's a small space after all. Number 6, will Astrobot grace us with his presence?
He fucking better. Well, this is the thing, man. I think I 100% believe Astrobot is coming. I just don't know if this is too soon, if this is too early. I originally kind of felt like it would be like a next year release. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like Astrobot's a release for this year. I felt like it was something maybe next summer, next winter or something, but again, it would be awesome. It feels like there's been enough time to announce Astrobot, and then it be coming out like, you know, along like a while from now.
I feel like Astro is an important character for Sony. I feel like they're absolutely trying to push Astro as their mascot. Having things like the Playroom available at the launch of PlayStation 5, having Astrobot's Rescue Mission come out eventually on PSVR 1. I think it's something that I think as time goes on, if Astro continues to be a successful character for them, they would like to launch all hardware with a new Astro game, and I think that we will see Astro's next big adventure, his next big VR adventure, at this show. This is something that everyone's calling for. They're saying every comment I ever see that refers to Astro says Sony's so fucking stupid for not having an Astrobot ready for launch.
Yep.
So,
well, it means a lot to people. Like you said, man, in gaming, we don't have a lot of like mascots. Like, I don't know why, you know, well, I guess Nintendo is the only one smart enough to realize that, hey, look, Nintendo are the only one smart enough to realize to keep your mascots around for decades, and look at the success that it has. Like, people affiliate these mascots as like icons with the brand, and they have nostalgia for it. They have, they relate to it, and it's super important. And yeah, unfortunately, Sony has gotten rid of most of their mascots, like Crash Bandicoot.
Well, they seem to have one per generation.
Spyro
Right,
yeah,
Crash was even though it wasn't made by first-party Sony studio, right? Or no, I'm sorry, the rights to Crash ended up with what, Activision? Is that what happened? But
yeah, I mean, they've had so many iconic characters, and yeah, they just don't hold them down. You really, really should. I mean,
really though, but like, don't you feel though like that Crash kind of like ran his course, and then Jack and Daxter on PlayStation 2 kind of ran their course, and then
Jack and Daxter, I mean,
or Ratchet or whatever. I mean,
like sort of a little bit, like they've tried, but I don't think they have the hook like a Crash Bandicoot or a Solid Snake or a Cloud Strife, or, you know, if you want to compare it to things that weren't on PlayStation, like Mario, Mega Man, Sonic. These things are freaking important, man, and Sony needs to get some of these back. I'm sorry, I like the Uncharted games a lot, but Nathan Drake is not a Mario or a Sonic or a Mega Man or Crash Bandicoot.
But what about Sackboy?
No,
because that was absolutely their mascot during the PS3 generation.
Yes, and like Sackboy is he's pretty good mascot, and I think Astrobot is in a similar vein right now, but I think Astrobot could be so much more. Astro's way more adorable, has better games, and can be used. I don't know. I think you can do a lot more with Astrobot. He's got this, like, you know, I don't know. They're both kind of similar, but I think I mean, obviously, I like the Astrobot games more.
Listen, if we don't get a fucking Astro Kart game, okay, I want Astrobot kart racing, right? Because come on, like Astrobot would be perfect for a kart racer. We need a VR kart racer. We need a triple A VR kart racer from Sony themselves, from Team Asobi, because dude, like, I'm getting tired of waiting for Galaxy Kart to be updated. I'm getting real fucking tired of waiting for Dash Dash World to be ported. Like just fucking let's just say, you know what? We don't even need those games because Team Asobi will have us covered. It would be amazing to have a first person Astrobot kart racing game. Let's do this.
Yeah, man. I've said it before. I want an Astro PSVR2, Astro Kart, Astro Party, Astro Movie. I'll take it all, man.
Yeah, I agree.
I want the games first, though. For games first.
So number 6, will Astrobot grace us with his presence? I think we both agree. Yes.
Freaking better. Yes.
Okay. Number 7, will a Blood and Truth or Farpoint port be announced?
No.
This is a tough one, right? Because I firmly believe that all of Sony's first party PSVR 1 games will at some point get a port over to PSVR 2. Too much money was involved in getting those games made to begin with to not take advantage of that and bring them over to PSVR2 and make more money on games that have already been developed. So I just don't know if this is the place for that. This could absolutely happen in a state of play, like a sizzle reel in a state of play. This could absolutely happen on the blog post. They've been like leaning on the blog post so much more heavily lately. So I just don't know if this showcase is the right place for this. I don't think so. I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no. In fact, starting to think about how there is no Rush of Blood remaster is starting to make me think that I should change my Wipeout answer to no, it's going to be a sequel.
Yeah. I think
because Sony are more focused on sequels than they are remasters.
Agreed. And I do think we're going to get a Rush of Blood remaster at some point too, because again, that was...
I thought you were going to say sequel. I was like, what?
Right. But I think Supermassive has heard the feedback. I think they realized that people wanted Rush of Blood more than they wanted Switchback. But
they don't own it. So
yeah, but Sony does. And
yeah, but when people said that, Supermassive said, "Go tell Sony."
Yeah,
and they gave you a link that went fucking nowhere.
Yeah,
I don't know what they were trying to accomplish with that.
Yeah.
Good one, Supermassive.
I mean, I just, like it's the same thing with Farpoint. Like Impulse Gear doesn't own Farpoint. So Sony owns that. It's the same thing. It's the same thing with a lot of PSVR1 games. So I do think we'll see them all at some point. I just don't think this is the place for it.
The first party, I think, are more likely.
Number 8. Will Resident Evil 4 Remake VR be present in any form? Meaning release date, or what content means, or VR content, gameplay footage, etc. So in any form, will Resident Evil 4 Remake VR be shown?
Yes. This is where we see the VR version for the first time.
Yeah. I think,
and if not,
yeah,
it's not the end of the world because we know it's in development and we, think that it's going to be the full game. So if it's not, then it's like, hey, then we just get Resident Evil 4 on top of everything we just saw that was announced at the showcase.
Very true. Very true. I think, yeah. So here's what I think. I think Resident Evil 4 blew everyone away when it came out. The remake was getting 10s across the board. I think this probably shot Resident Evil 4 up Sony's priority list very quickly, being like, this is going to be a system seller. This is going to be something that people are genuinely curious about, that genuinely want to play this game in VR. And so I think they want to show this off as soon as physically possible in VR. So yes, I do think
this is definitely a headset seller for sure.
Yeah. It's also, I mean, especially when it comes to Resident Evil, I bet if we pulled everybody on the face of the planet and asked everybody on the face of the planet what their favorite Resident Evil game of all time is, I bet a majority of people, not me, but a majority of people would say Resident Evil 4. For a long time, I kept hearing this is my favorite.
I would think 2.
2's like my favorite. But
I think the majority is still 2. I think just 4 has a very dedicated player base.
I hear people all the time say that their favorite game of all time, not even favorite Resident Evil game, just favorite game of all time is Resident Evil 4. Grandpa's Barbecue Gamecat, Australian $5.
I love that name. I want some barbecue after this.
This is going great. It says, we had Star Wars Squadrons from EA, but nothing else. Do you think EA are more in bed with Xbox than Sony? Therefore, we won't see any more VR from EA. I don't think anyone's in bed with Xbox.
Because EA only cares about money, and Sony makes them way more money. So
yeah. I'm actually curious to know what will happen with like the Dead Space remake, because obviously that was made by Motive, and like we just never heard anything about a VR version of that. EA's got obviously a lot of properties that would probably really be great for VR. I would love to see Squadrons be brought over to PSVR2. I know a lot of people have been asking for that, but yeah, I don't know. What are we up to? So we both believe that Resident Evil 4 remake will be shown in some form at the show.
That's like the safest bet you can make here.
Probably. Okay, number 9. Will any franchise from the PS2 PS3 generation. For example, Killzone, Twisted Metal, etc., have a VR or hybrid game announced.
Whew. This is what, man, this would crush. Like, this is what I think would make people the most excited is something like Killzone. Dude, Killzone getting announced for VR or like this, or Twisted Metal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, talk about like blow my mind. Like that, that would be pretty huge for me personally. Man, what do you think? You answer first.
Well, I mean, I already brought up Twisted Metal for another answer, and so that's obviously what I believe for this. But I will say, you know, like we talked quite a bit about the about Killzone VR last year or a few months back. I forget when it was, and that was in development for a while at Supermassive Games for PlayStation VR1. And Sony wasn't happy with how it was going, and they decided to take development in-house. We know this. This happened in 2019. Sony took Killzone VR development back in-house to be done by a first-party studio. That was 4 years ago. So if that project continued the way it sounds like it did, it's time for Killzone VR to be revealed for PlayStation VR2. So I think there's a high probability that we will see that. Will we see it during this show? I don't know. I feel like if all of our answers so far have been correct, AJ, this is too good to be true, right? They've got to save some stuff. They can't reveal everything that they've got in the works all at once.
How often do they do showcases? They can announce this and it still be a year or two away.
Well, right, that's true, but they do a showcase once a year, except for last year, and so and that's because of obviously all the supply chain problems and whatever else, and so If they get back to their regular yearly routine, you got to figure they don't want to blow their load and reveal everything that every studio has been working on. But I do, you know, Killzone has to be revealed for PSVR 2 at some point if it's actually still in development.
I mean, look, Herman Hulst is the head of PlayStation Studios right now, and that's a Guerrilla Studio. I mean, so obviously that increases the chances of something like a Killzone happening with him in charge, right?
Sure, especially since it's not made by Guerrilla anymore,
it would probably be outsourced, right?
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't be a game by Guerrilla, but they have the ability to say, "Hey, you studio, make this." Sort of like what they did with Horizon. Making Fire Sprite, they worked with Fire Sprite on it. It'd be amazing, man, to get this or Twisted Metal or both. It would just feel good, man. It would just feel really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the mindset that I see them in right now. Like I don't know if this is like really feels like it feels more of like this would be great for us than it is like some crazy system seller thing. It would just be awesome and like an amazing thing to do for us.
Yeah, dude, I see a lot of people in the chat talking about Resistance. And, you know, if I had my way, I would absolutely choose Resistance over Killzone to get a VR port. Or like bring the
I don't know about versus.
Why's that?
I don't know about over Killzone 3 because of like the mechs and the multiplayer and stuff, like all that in VR and those graphics. All that in VR would be really sweet. That might actually, I mean, I'm with you. Like flat games wise, I was more of a Resistance guy, but in VR, man, Killzone I think would maybe take the slight edge.
Maybe. Yeah,
Maybe.
What I remember about Killzone is, especially Killzone 2, Killzone 3 rectified this a little bit, but Killzone 2, you were playing as like a really hulking, slow-moving dude with lots of armor and stuff, and Killzone 3 sped that up quite a bit. Right, Resistance just felt a little bit more agile, something I'd want to feel in VR. I don't know, Resistance 3. I know it probably wasn't the fan favorite. I think Resistance 2 is probably the fan favorite, but Resistance 3 is when I really think that series hit its stride, right? Because it like kind of like leaned more into the horror element, and it just felt like more of like just like this dark adventure. But I don't know, man.
I liked all three. Yeah, I liked all three, but
yeah,
Yeah, it was sad. I felt like I was like the only one I knew that liked that game, and it was sad times. Actually,
Yeah,
brings up bad memories.
yeah. So the thing about Killzone again, with it being like this big hulking dude with like all these big heavy weapons, I wonder how that translates to VR, right? Because if you've got like a big heavy weapon, like
and a helmet. I mean, you got a mask on.
Yeah.
You know that. I think that works.
But moving slow, maybe holding big heavy weapons, like, are you going to be okay with it moving 1-to-1 and then suddenly feeling like it's light as a feather, or are you going to like have to have like that slight delay, right? That Saints and Sinners does so well to make it feel like these big hulking heavy weapons. Like I just don't know if it's going to translate that well to VR. Maybe it will, right? It's the kind of thing you don't know until you play it, but. Yeah, we'll see.
I would love to see one of these, and like a PS2, PS3 generation game brought to VR. Yeah, I would love to see it.
Corey Massey says Resistance is actually made by a studio who's made VR games. It's like, yeah, but there's no rumors about Resistance VR. There's a shitload of rumors about Killzone VR. It's not even a rumor, man. I told you guys the story already. It's just straight up fact. But we don't know if it continues development or not. That's the big question mark. All right, man. Number 10. Will Beat Saber get a release date?
I think we both kind of just for fun said that this is where we think it would get stealth dropped.
Yeah. If there's one game that says it's out today, this is the game that I believe. So yeah, one or the other. Sony has such a fucking hard on for Beat Saber. I mean, obviously because it's such a popular game, because it makes them so much money, it makes sense, right? But it's like, it's not the ultimate, sorry, sirens on my end. It's not the ultimate VR game, but they're treating it like it is, because I guess money rules all, because they're a corporation, and that's how corporations work. Yeah, because of the way they think about Beat Saber.
Nothing wrong with making money, Brian.
Yeah, but I don't know. When it gets, here's, but I do think that because they just think of it as such an important title, that it will be at a big thing like a showcase, even though it very much, I think, belongs in a state of play or a blog post.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Yeah.
It's a little old news. It's a little bit of old news for me. Yeah. I mean, I'll be excited for it to come out. I'll be excited to play it. I don't think Beat Saber releasing again for like the fourth time is going to have the same impact that it used to.
Sure. I mean, I hope that when it drops on PSVR2, whenever that is, I hope it simultaneously launches with a track pack, like some music that I'm really excited about, right? Give me. Oh,
and it will sell well again if it does.
It will. It'll be number one on the sales charts for about the next 6 years, right? Number 11. How many PSVR2 games we already know about will be shown? This one, the one with the closest number wins. Well,
we already know about.
Well, so this kind of goes back to number 3, right? Well, about the German PlayStation blog post leak. So we do know about Project Wingman already. We already know about Solaris 2. We already know about Wanderer. So yeah. So how many games that we've sort of already like? And I guess he's also referring to like just like things like Synapse, right? The End Dreams PSVR2 exclusive, during the Foundation, whatever.
Will be shown. I mean, you could show a lot of those in the sizzle reel.
Yeah.
I'm more interested in the new stuff, that like new announcements,
right,
than I am what we already know is coming. Besides Resident Evil 4, that I do want to see more of.
I think we're all interested in that.
But other than that, yeah, it's like I don't know.
So what's the answer to your question? Number 11. How many games that we've found out about, whether through leaks, official leaks, right? Because we can't count, like, what if Metal Gear Solid 3 has VR support? We can't say, well, we already knew that game existed. It's just been like rumors and leaks and stuff. Like we need official leaks. So games that we 100% know exist. How many of those will show up at the show? I'm going to say 2. And I think Beat Saber is one of them.
2 is a good answer. I'm going to say 3.
Okay.
Because I don't have to go any more than that.
Okay. It'll be 1 and I'll win.
Right. Or 0.
Dan Kitty VR in the chat says Behemoth.
Ooh.
It would really be nice to see
why do I keep forgetting about Behemoth?
Because all we've seen is a cinematic trailer, and it's really hard to stay excited about a game we don't even know what it looks like.
Plus, that could be a meta showcase.
It could be, but like, I don't know. So, I guess, man, Behemoth.
Hopefully not. It would. I don't want to see the Quest version of that game.
Oh God, no. No. God, I'm trying to think, man. If Behemoth looks really good, like if it's a visually impressive game,
yeah, which it will be
on PSVR2. Yeah, I mean, like that seems like something that we would love to show off. And damn, dude,
it's come. Isn't it slated for this year? Like, yeah, we should absolutely see Behemoth
at a showcase.
Yes.
Okay, and you know what? I just said at a showcase, and then reminded myself that Saints and Sinners Chapter 2 Retribution was one of the first games that Sony showed off on PlayStation VR2.
Yes.
When they let people play a bunch of different games. That was one of them, along with Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy's Edge and Village. So I take it back.
Behemoth is getting shown either at this showcase or the State of Play or the meta one.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be this one.
I take it back.
Maybe.
Yeah, I do. I'm hoping so. GC13's in the chat, just fucking with us.
Oh, don't do that.
What do you know, Tiff? No, doesn't matter. All right, dude. That's all 13 questions.
It's all 13 questions. So, Brian, what do you expect, man? For real?
I expect to walk away extremely disappointed. And then for the next year, people are going to say, "Told you, Sony gave up on VR. They were forced to put out PSVR2, and they didn't want to."
They'll announce Half-Life Alyx in a blog, and nobody will know about it. Yep. And they'll be like, "Oh, how's Horizon?" Anyways, I think, man, listen, like, I'll be honest with you. My expectations for this show, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm really excited about it. And maybe not everything I want or hope for or expect is going to happen, but I still feel like we're going to get something really, really good.
Yeah.
Overall, this is, you remember, I mean, 3 years ago, when we watched the PS5 unveiling showcase, like the first showcase, it was really impressive. And that didn't even feature any VR. So I'm thinking this is I'm really excited about PSVR2 actually being on this this stage. And you know what?
Yeah.
I want to change my answer so many times, but I'm just going to have to stick with it.
Yeah.
The Last of Us VR is getting announced.
Yeah, dude, The Last of Us VR, I feel like out of all Sony first-party games, is the most likely candidate for a VR hybrid. And by the way, I see some people in the chat being like, "Stop being so negative." I was joking. I was making fun of all the fucking assholes out there that have been so goddamn negative for the last 3 years of my life. Oh, PSVR 2 is never going to happen. Sony doesn't care about VR. And meanwhile, AJ and I have been up here for 3 years straight going, PSVR 2 is going to happen. It is happening, right? We've been the optimistic ones. So it was a joke. I think The Last of Us, with Sony's obsession with The Last of Us lately, with it being a fucking stellar TV show that got amazing reviews, one of the best rated TV shows of all time. The re-release of Last of Us Part 1.
What about Bella Ramsey doing the VR commercial? You think that's a connection? There's a connection there?
Come on, man. It's like that.
Were they secretly telling us something?
That could have been a little wink to the audience, being like, "Hey, look what's coming." Yeah, I think so.
Give me Astrobot. Give me Last of Us. Give me Grand Theft Auto. And we're good,
dude. And seriously, I know I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I'm the jerk that was like, listen, I bought Last of Us on PS3 and I loved it. I bought the remaster on PS4 and I loved it. I'm not buying The Last of Us Part 1 on PlayStation 5 for $70 unless you give me a reason to. And I think adding VR as a free download, free DLC, or a free patch, however they want to handle it, is a way to finally get me to buy this game for the third fucking time, because I will absolutely play this game in first person VR on PlayStation VR 2, because it'll be an entirely new experience. So I do think that that's something that they've looked at, that they probably experimented with, and I would bet that it's coming.
I would love to see it.
Yeah.
It's going to be a spin-off called Firefly.
That won't get confusing.
It's totally a Sony move there. Oh, wait. No, the other thing was like a spin-off of God of War where you play as
Atreus.
Atreus.
Yeah.
And it's a bow and arrow game because Sony loves their bow and arrow games.
And he just climbs for like 90% of the game.
Oh man.
Yeah, this
but you get to meet Kratos in VR,
yeah.
Brian.
I honestly think, all joking aside, I think that PSVR2 will have a strong showing during this show. This is going to be not only an amazing show for PlayStation 5 flat screen gamers, but this is also going to be the launch event that we've been secretly hoping for, or very publicly hoping for the PlayStation VR2. We never got the launch event. This is kind of it. PlayStation 5s are finally available to buy everywhere, right? There's no longer a shortage. PlayStation VR2s can be bought at Walmart, at GameStop, on Amazon.com, right? Like these are like, this is I said that the official launch of PlayStation VR2 I will not consider it officially the soft launch to be over until you can buy it on Amazon. And as of last week, you can buy PlayStation VR2s on Amazon directly from PlayStation, directly from Sony. So it's time, man. The soft launch is over. And I think Wednesday is going to prove that. And I think we'll see a lot of
phase 2, man.
I think we'll see a lot
phase
of
2.
I think we'll see some first party built from the ground up for VR games. I think we'll see some first party hybrid games, and I think we'll see some third party hybrid games. And I think this is Sony's chance to show the world why they're better than Quest, right? Because for whatever reason, the messaging out there right now is that PlayStation VR2 is just a lot of Quest ports. Even though the Quest ports are fucking a million times better than the Quest versions. Right? So this is their chance to say, this is why you need a PlayStation VR2. This is why we have the best headset. This is why you need this thing. And this is and to say it on one of the biggest stages that they have. These get millions and millions of views. This is the best way to get out in front of everybody, in front of all PlayStation fans, and fucking sell these headsets.
I agree. And the best part is I have no idea what's going to happen. All I know is that it's going to kick ass, man. It's going to be a great showcase. And I have no idea what to expect, truth be told. But like you said, man, this is their chance to sell some shit. And so if there's one thing I know that they're good at doing right now is selling shit.
Yeah. AJ, scale of 1 to 10. What's the likelihood, 10 being the most likely, that we see something insane like Grand Theft Auto 5 VR? It's the one game that I keep saying is the game that would transcend everything, the game that would sell more headsets than anything. What's the likelihood we see something like that?
Well, again, this would be the place for a Grand Theft Auto VR to be announced. I don't know about a Grand Theft Auto 6, maybe. They have been in pretty good relationship with Rockstar. Mm-hmm. Although, if my memory serves me correctly here, Rockstar usually announces their own stuff. Like they'll probably announce their Grand Theft Auto 6 stuff themselves. That being said, there's still room for plenty of room for a Grand Theft Auto spinoff, Grand Theft Auto 5 VR,
Grand Theft Online VR.
One of those would be more likely, if at all. And again, that would be a smart move by Sony. I mean, you're leaving, if you want to sell headsets, throw Grand Theft Auto in VR,
and
easy money.
And they're going before the Meta Showcase. Right, like there's a lot of other showcases coming up. There's a Microsoft Showcase. There's a Nintendo Direct. There's Meta, Microsoft. Like a lot of fucking shit happening. And so when it comes, we heard a long time ago, right, during Oculus gaming event, that San Andreas is coming to Quest.
Yeah,
it's very likely that San Andreas has become a Quest 3 title. How crazy would it be for Sony to show off Grand Theft Auto 5 VR on PlayStation VR 2 literally days before Meta shows off a PlayStation 2 looking game for their brand new Quest 3. Just saying. Just a quest port, AJ. Just another quest port. So tired of hearing it.
Yep.
It's all lies, man. It's all lies. People who don't even have the headset don't even know how good it is. It's craziness. Looper the Underground Gamecat with the €2 says, it makes sense. Atreus climbs a lot in Ragnarok. Yeah, good stuff. All right, man, we got to wrap this up. This has been a 2-hour show, so let's get to the final segment, which is PSVR 20 questions. It's time for AJ to come up with a PlayStation VR 1 or PlayStation VR 2 game, and you guys have to help me out because I've only got 6 minutes and 20 yes or no questions to figure out what game that is. AJ, do you have a game picked out?
I do, actually.
Sweet. In that case, I'm going to put the time up on the screen. I can't think of any VR games right now. This is not good. On your mark, get Des, go. What was this game on PSVR 1?
Yes.
Has this game released or been announced for PSVR 2?
No.
You know. All right, so it's PSVR 1 only. Okay. Help me out, you guys. Help me out. Ask some good questions in the chat. I need them. Are there any? Do you control any vehicles in this game?
Oh.
Okay, guys. It's a game that maybe you control vehicles in. It's that kind of game where possibly this is something you're doing.
Control vehicles in this game.
He's AJing the fuck out of this already. It's been 2 weeks.
I don't know.
I missed it.
I don't know.
You don't know? Okay.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
I don't think so, but maybe.
We're going to put it in the no column for now.
Yeah, I'd put it in the no column.
I'm going to create 3 columns. Yes, no, and maybe. Never done this before. Has this game ever been in discussion?
Oh, shit. How many questions am I on?
This will be the 3rd.
Sorry.
A minute and a half later, we're on the 3rd question.
It's been a while, Brian. This happens when you skip a Monday.
Has this game ever been in discussions during our top 25 debates? Is it to be on the list?
Yes.
Okay. Top 25 caliber. All right. Is this a PlayStation VR exclusive, meaning it's not on PC VR or Quest?
No.
Okay, not exclusive. Is there any multiplayer in this?
No.
Whoa. Okay.
6.
Would you consider this an adventure game?
No, but it could be a little bit, yeah. But no.
I'll put it in the maybe column.
It's definitely in the maybe column.
Good question, Looper. Does it have any horror elements?
No.
Okay, no horror.
I mean, no.
Yeah.
Very, 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 very minuscule, if any. Would not think of horror. No.
Okay. Do you do? Okay, yeah. I'll go with Looper again. Do you do a lot of shooting in this game? What are you doing, bud?
Yeah, I'd say you do a lot of shooting in this game.
Okay. I can't. You're sleeping on my book here. Oh, tornado. I love you, but I can't see my book. Thank you. Okay, lots of shooting. Okay, so top 25 game with a lot of shooting. PSVR 1, not PSVR 2 game. That's all we know. There's no multiplayer. Only a little bit of adventure. Only the smallest amount of horror. Not a horror game. No vehicles. God, I don't even want to ask this. Tiff is wondering if it has any rhythm elements.
No.
Yeah, I was like,
it does not have any rhythm elements. That's 10.
I'm only asking because I can't think of anything.
That's what you
better.
get for using Tiff's question.
Looper, it can't be Blood and Truth because it's not PSVR 1 only.
Wait, what? What did you say?
Because it's not. I said.
It's not exclusive.
It's not exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Right. Does it have a cartoony art style?
No.
Okay, it's not fracked, you guys.
I don't know if I'd call Fract cartoony.
Oh my god. It's like comic book art style, which is definitely cartoony.
It's like Borderlands style.
Yeah, cartoony. Oh my god, I don't know what to do with you. Does it use any peripheral other than the DualShock? Can it use the moves? Can it use No, I'm sorry. I didn't ask that question. Ignoring the DualShock and moves, is there any other peripheral it could use, like a steering wheel, a HOTAS, anything like that?
No.
Okay. Is it moves only?
No.
Okay. So we're going to say yes to DualShock 4. Top 25 game. Top 25 game that is this a puzzle game?
No.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Fuck puzzle games.
Hey. Did this come out like in the first year of?
Negative. That's 15.
Whoa. God, I'm trying to think of
Wait
like
a minute.
DualShock games. Was this a Did this game also come out on the flat screen?
Yes, that's 16.
Was this a big budget game?
Yes, 17. You got 2 questions and a guess, Brian.
Was this the third game in a series?
This was the third game in the series.
Was this Hitman 3?
This game with the 19th question
At the buzzer.
At the buzzer was Hitman 3 by IO Interactive. Released January 20 something. I love that Tiffany said Hitman after I just called her, after I just said she was wrong about everything. I think she was the first person I saw that said Hitman 3 or Hitman. Well done, Tiff. Well done, Cats. All of you knew it. Well done, Brian. This
needs to be on PSVR2 with proper sense control support. We need orbs in this game. I need to fucking choke a dude out with 2 hands because it was practically impossible to do with the DualShock. This game would be, dude, it was, beautiful on PSVR1. This game was stunning. I still don't know how they did it. Amazing game.
It is not a puzzle game.
Yeah, sure.
Go fuck yourself.
Sure it is.
I will fight you all. I will fight you.
It's also an adventure game.
I said kind of, yeah. It's a stealth action. It's kind of action adventure.
You AJ'd the fuck out of it, per expected. Everyone got what they wanted. People showed up on a Monday. People showed up on a Monday looking for you to AJ the fuck out of something, and it took 2 hours and 6 minutes, but you did.
I clearly led you the right way with you being able to guess it. Okay,
the cat steered me in the right way. All right, you guys, we got to wrap this thing up. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with us. Super long show. We love you so very much. AJ, thank you for being here. Guys, make sure you subscribe to AJ over at PSVR Underground, doing a lot of great stuff over there on his channel. The link is in the description below. Click it, subscribe, click the notification bell, whatever YouTubers say. Just pretend I said it all already. Also, thank you to everybody who helps the channel run. All the people, you don't even know how hard the mods work this weekend, especially Rypop and Elver getting all those keys out. Hundreds of beta keys got out to everybody for the D-Day beta. That was somehow their responsibility, and they kicked ass doing it. But all the mods make my life better each and every day. But thank you to everybody who helps this channel out. Sci-Fi Gamecat, Henry, J Meow, all the people who support the channel financially, patreon.com/withoutpearlgames, everybody who's a member over here, all the people who participated in the chat, all the people who donated during the show, and all the people who sat back and watched the show, didn't say a goddamn word. We know you're out there.
And to those who I said, go fuck yourselves, I was just kidding. I love you. I didn't mean it.
He's not kidding. He really wants you to go fuck yourself. And he wants a video.
But Hitman's not a puzzle game. Although I do like how Dan Keeper says Hitman has kill puzzles. Still not a puzzle game, but I do like the term kill puzzles.
It's Monday, AJ.
Cue the motherfucking cat, Brian, because I want to say see you guys on Wednesday at the showcase,
Oh my God,
Brian.
my
Showcase.
My ears.
See you guys Wednesday. Showcase. 4 o'clock Eastern, I think.
3:30. Come here, 3:30 for the pre-show.
3:30. Be early. Guy Son fist bump to you. Looper the Game Cat. Seraphim 190. Jay Kiefer. The kill puzzle man. The puzzle kill puzzles. What do you call them? I loved it. Whatever it was. Chris Forthenberry. Your mom smelled of Chris Forthenberries. Corky the Game Cat. Albert. What up, man? Flame Hat. The Game Cat says fire, fire, fire. I love it, Flame Hat. Gabriel 004, the license to meow Game Cat. Meow, 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 meow. Time to play VR. Oh, yeah, we need to see some 158.5 pizza menus folded, please. Kramer 3K, the non-VR Game Cat. Later to you, my friend. 007 Feck, hello. Says if you don't want achievements, it's action shooter. Brex, bro, thanks so much, man. GC13 says, I thought AJ did a great job. You see, I told you she is always wrong.
This is why we don't trust her with anything.
Yep. No, thank you, GC. I thought you did a great job as well.
Oh,
you all did a great job.
This is the dumbest echo chamber I've ever been inside of.
Sash the Dash. It says, if you play stealthy, it's an adventure puzzle game. No, it's not. Y'all leave me alone.
It is so an adventure puzzle game. They're all very, very accurate.
Juan Borges. Hello. Renee's. Dion. So many exotic, sexy ass names in here tonight. What up, y'all? Red Sea. Alejandre, Cat allergic.
I'm glad you're making yourself
no.
laugh. Jesus Christ.
And Attila Hagado. Attila Hagado.
Akuna Matata.
Oh,
bro, Silver Nexus in the chat with the $10 tip says, this is the longest show since the PSVR2 came out. Thanks for making my Monday suck less. Hashtag GameCat.
Let's go, Silver Nexus. Let's go.
2 more days, you guys. 2 more days. This is the last GamesCast, last proper GamesCast until the show. This is what we've been waiting for. We've been waiting for this. People might say we've been waiting for this for 3 months since PSVR2 came out. In all actuality, we've been waiting for this for 2 years. I think this is going to be people call this the what Sony's doing next, PlayStation 2.0, the next phase of PlayStation, and I think that they've been waiting a long time to reveal this phase. I think it's gonna be very, very exciting. Dude, for the first time in a long time, I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with flat screen games. Like, I'm very, very curious. Like, from obviously priority number 1, PSVR 2 games. I can't wait to see PlayStation 5 flat screen games as well, though.
Yeah, man. This is the launch of the post-pandemic era. Let's go. Fuck the virus. We win.
I mean, yeah. I guess we could go that direction. We won. Yay.
We were awarded with more zombie games.
I'll take them. I'm not sick of zombie games. I'll take as many as you want to make. All right. Guys, good night, everybody. We love you all. We'll see you on Wednesday.